Hey guys, it's me again, and today we're doing another part of What If Deku was Captain America. So, anyways, we start off at the end of the USJ arc. Everyone's getting treated if they were injured, and Deku is just sitting on a bench, like trying to process what just happened, because he says to himself, "Katsuki's alive. How? I saw him die." I'm gonna say one of the students, Kirishima, walks up and says, "Hey, Mito, bro, you all right?" Deku looks up at Kirishima and says, "Yeah, I'm fine. It's just remembering some stuff." You wanna tell me what you're remembering, Midoriya? Said Kirishima, and Midoriya explains, "I had a friend once back in a long time ago, who I thought was dead, and I saw him die, or at least I thought I did. And yet, I just saw him during the USJ fight. I don't know, it was like I saw a ghost." So, you're saying that he's here? He was a part of the attack, said Midoriya. Oh, I see. Well, maybe you can give us some information on uh, what 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 he looks like and his name. Yeah. Let's just get a police officer over here. He waves over a police officer to take a witness statement about one of the villains. And the police officer says, "Okay, do you know his name?" And Deku says, "Bakugo Katsuki." Do you know how old he is? He should be around my age. So he's still a kid. Well, I guess like a young adult. Uh, all right. Do you know what he looks like? He's about my height. Well, actually, a little bit taller than me. Uh, Blonde hair. He's got a chiseled jaw, red eyes, white skin tone. All right, we'll look into that. And Deku says thank you. After a while, the students were sent home. Well, Deku got sent to his apartment, and Deku's reminiscing about all the times that Bakugo and Deku were hanging out back in World War II, back when they were fighting Hydra. Deku then uh, pulls out uh, what looks to be uh, a locket, and he opens it to see Bakugo and Midoriya sharing like hanging out in the picture. Deku starts to cry a bit, and he says, "So you're not dead. You're alive." Once Deku came back to UA, Aizawa walks in, and everyone's a bit shocked to see that he's just out of the hospital now. And Aizawa says the sports festival will be coming up. Everyone's like excited except Deku, because he doesn't know what the sports festival is. And Everyone starts talking about it. Deku gets some idea of what it is. Basically, the Olympics, but with superpowers. But yeah. So everyone's talking about training and getting ready for it. And Deku uh, starts getting ready for it as well. He signs a pamphlet that allows him to have his shield in the obstacle course, or not in the obstacle course, the sports festival. So yeah, uh, everyone gets to the sports festival. Everyone's cheering, crying out, and yeah. Aizawa asks Deku to take a speech because I don't remember if he got in via recommendation or he did the entrance exam. I'm gonna say he's just gonna do a speech. He gives a speech about something rousing and inspiring and something like that. I didn't really make the time to make a speech, and I can't just make one out of my ass like other people can. So yeah, sorry. And after he finishes his speech, the crowd goes wild. They're cheering and they're all chanting uh the Midoriya's name. Midoriya, 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 Midoriya. And yeah. So yeah, Deku then walks back downstairs and down the stairs, and Midnight walks up and says, "All right, students, get ready for the sports festival." And she spins like the little wheel thing, and the thing it lands on is obstacle course. Yeah, sorry. So everyone gets in the starting position. Deku then gets ready, and as soon as the race starts, Deku jumps and jumps over people, jumps over the people and is ahead of the group while the rest of the students are using their quirks to get ahead. Deku starts running really fast with super serum. He's got a shield on his back, so yeah. He starts running, and it takes like 30 seconds to get to the first wave, which is the 0 pointers. Deku doesn't bother fighting them. He just runs straight under them. He then encounters a few smaller robots that are in his way. So he throws his shield, and it ricochets off them, and taking out all of them. And then the shield comes back to him. And the crowd is like, "Holy crap! Is that his quirk?" I don't know. He was running pretty fast. Maybe speed is his quirk. Yeah. So Izuku makes it to the second part of the race, which is the canyon thing. He does acrobatics over it, like doing flips and shit, like getting across. So yeah. So Deku then makes it across, and he sees that the other students are catching up, mainly Shoto Todoroki, who is using his ice to get across. Sorry about the loud noise. But Deku then he he then gets to the landmine area, and he picks up a rock and chucks it at one of the landmines. To see if they're like lethal or not. They're just they're concussive landmines, so they're not lethal. Deku then gets an idea. He starts doing the same thing he did in canon. He starts rounding up all the mines into one little spot, and then he jumps on a shield and then jumps onto the landmines, propelling him forward. Except he did it at more of an angle where he just shoots forward instead of up. And now he's just skirting off the landmines. They're exploding behind him. He's just skirting off them. And everyone's going crazy because they're talking about like how this kid's resourceful, or how Deku's resourceful. He's smart, and he is strong. And everyone's like cheering for Deku. And he makes it first. How much time do we have? I can go for like another 10 minutes. So yeah, Deku then. Sorry. Deku then is told it's everyone midnight. Starts talking about like more people who made it further to first place gets a higher headband, and everyone looks at Deku who has the highest, and they just give him all that look. And I'm gonna say that no one wants to team up with him. Well, except actually Kirishima wants to team up with him, along with, I'm gonna say, Mei, since like she wants to take advantage of that first place spot. So she's like, team up with me and stuff. And then one more person. Who am I gonna get? I'm gonna say. God, why is it so hard to come up with? I'm gonna go with, I guess I'll go with Fumikage. Or Tokoyami. So yeah. Deku is sitting, or he's in the front. Actually, no. Kirishima's in the front. He's gonna be the horse. Mei is gonna be on the side, along with Fumikage, who's also gonna be on the side. And Deku is gonna be on top. I'm gonna skip this part because I can't really come up with a good like head-on scenario. But let's just say that they win. All right. I want to get to the fights now. So yeah. Jesus Christ. What is up with me? Alright, so first up is the same as canon, Deku versus Shinzo. And Deku actually did some research before he entered the sports festival, because he was trying to eye up any potential threats. Because, you know, he was basically scouting ahead, which is what a soldier does. He's listening to his inner soldier. And he knows that Shinzo has a brainwashing quirk to whoever he talks to. So he's going to keep his mouth shut. Shinzo tries to brainwash Deku, but Deku doesn't say anything. And Shinzo's like, shit, does he know? Does he know about my quirk? Deku then he throws his shield to the side, and he says, if you want to actually oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Shinzo did give a speech about like how he'll take one of the hero spots and take it out from one of the other students. He threatened everyone as well by doing that, same in canon. So Deku just shouts, if you want to become a hero, you're going to have to fight for it. Because not everything can be solved with talking. Not everything can be solved with your quirk. So you're going to have to fight me with every inch of your will. And the crowd is like, holy shit, he's inspiring and he's honorable. Kiroshima's standing in the stands like, that's so manly. Deku then says, if you really want to become a hero, you'll fight me tooth and nail for it. Shinzo is shocked, but determined to beat Deku. He charges at Deku. He throws a right punch. Deku dodges. Then Shinzo tries to sweep the leg. Deku jumps over and he knees Shinzo in the face. Shinzo stumbles back. Deku then charges and tackles Shinzo to the ground and gets ready to punch him. He throws the punch. Shinzo moves his head to the side to avoid getting hit. And Deku's fist smashes into the ground, causing a little, crater. Shinzo then punches Deku to get him off and rolls off to his side. And is on top of Deku. He starts punching Deku. Deku is letting Shinzo get these hits in to make him to make it seem like he's actually has potential. Shinzo then throws another punch. Deku grabs it and kicks Shinzo off him. Shinzo then looks over at Deku's shield and goes to grab it. Deku says, yes, be resourceful. Use any tactic against your enemy. Shinzo grabs the shield and goes to try and punch Deku with it. Deku catches the shield and then breaks it off of Shinzo's arm and then grabs his arm, pulls him forward, and punches him in the face, knocking him to the ground. Shinzo has a bloody nose. Deku has a few bruises on his face. Deku then throws his shield at Shinzo. Shinzo dodges. And he goes to try to kick Deku. Deku grabs his foot and then basically like judo throws him onto the ground. And then he pulls his leg up in like a wrestling style. He's basically in like a grapple. Shinzo's trying to get out of the grapple by trying to kick Deku in the face, which he does so. And then Deku says, okay, that's enough. He grabs Shinzo's leg and smashes him into the ground. He then gets Shinzo into a sleeper hold, which basically he's basically like a headlock, but like he's trying to put him to sleep. Or knock him out, basically. And Shinzo's trying to fight him by like elbowing his Deku's side, but he's holding. Sorry. And eventually Shinzo's knocked out. And the crowd goes wild. Shinzo's knocked out and declaring Deku the winner. He then goes to pick up his shield and leaves the ring. Shinzo gets up and says to himself, "What happened?" He looks over at Deku leaving the ring, and he gets up and runs over to Deku. And he says to Deku, "You were holding back, weren't you?" "Well, I had to give you a fighting chance now, didn't I? I wanted to see how far you would go to fight for that position. And you fought valiantly. Maybe I can put in a recommendation for you." "Huh, I'd like that," said Shinzo. And Aizawa is looking from the booth, and he sees Shinzo as like a worthy candidate to join Class 1A. Kind of like how he's basically, Shinzo's gonna be trained by Aizawa like in canon. Sorry. So, the next fight is Deku versus Todoroki. And yeah, so Todoroki walked in along with Deku, and Todoroki says something to Deku. "You better not hold back like you did with Shinzo." "You don't want me to hold back, eh?" said Deku. "Fine." And Deku gets ready in a fighting stance. When Midnight shouts, "Fight!" Todoroki just unleashes a barrage of ice, like covering the whole arena. Deku sees this, and remember, if one of the opponents lands on the ground outside of the ring, then they are out. But if they manage to get back into the ring while they're in the air, then they're still in. So Todoroki fires a volley of ice at Deku, basically a glacier. Deku then puts his shield on his back and starts climbing over the ice, and starts sliding down the ice towards Todoroki. Deku throws his shield at Todoroki. Todoroki blocks with ice, and then Deku does an axe kick and like starts like diving toward, just like he basically does a flip and then like does like a diving kick to Todoroki. Todoroki blocks with his ice, and then Deku says, "If you don't want me to hold back, you won't. Then I sorry, let me rephrase that. If you don't want me to hold back, Todoroki, then I suggest you don't hold back as well. Use your fire." Todoroki says, "I will not use my father's side." Deku jumps off the ice of Todoroki and calls his shield back, which basically, like I said before, has a magnet, which is like attached to Deku's like arm. So it flies back to his head. Sorry, yawned again. And Deku sees like an opening in the ice, so he throws his shield and it starts ricocheting off the ice, and eventually hits Todoroki in the side because he wasn't expecting it to ricochet off. He then grabs Deku's shield and throws it out of the way. Deku then runs up some of the ice and tries to attack him once again, but Deku is blocked again by Todoroki's ice. But this time, Deku does a flip over the ice and lands and grabs Todoroki by the collar and starts punching him. And in between the punches, Deku says, "You're going to have to use your fire eventually to beat me." Todoroki counters with counters by blocking his hand and then uppercutting Deku, which, oh shit, sorry. Where is it? Actually, So yeah, Todoroki uses his ice to try to push Deku back, but Deku breaks through it, and he says, and then Deku says, "How many times am I gonna have to tell you? Use your quirk." Todoroki says, "It's not my quirk. It's my father's quirk." And Deku says, "I really doubt that, because I'm pretty sure your father didn't give you his quirk. You were born with another quirk. It is your quirk, not his." This basically like gives Todoroki incentive to like try and use his father's fire side. And yeah, so Todoroki pushes Deku back with more ice, but this time he shoots fire at Deku, which Deku then takes the full force of that fire. He calls back his shield, and his uniform, or his sports uniform, is on fire, so he's like putting that out. And I'm gonna say the same thing happens in canon, where he basically like the heat changes from the cold temperature so fast it basically causes an explosion. And Deku starts charging at uh, Todoroki, and yeah, so once the explosion happens, Deku realizes he can't dodge the explosion, so he basically curls up. He basically jumps, curls into a ball, and like enough to like fit inside his shield. And once the explosion happens, Deku is sent flying. After the smoke clears, they see that Deku is like stuck in the wall on like the side of the stadium. So yeah, Deku fucking lost, but he did what he was trying to achieve. So Deku's knocked the fuck out. Todoroki's standing there, more wondering how did that happen. And I'm gonna oh shit, sorry. I'm gonna skip the rest of the sports festival because you know we're following Deku's story, not anyone else. And I'm gonna cut it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe if you want to see more. I really need all the support I can get, like I keep saying before. But if you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. If you don't want to like, that's fine. But showing your support really shows that I will keep working towards this. So, anyways, thank you all for watching. And yeah, peace.